Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly. This is KBellaBeauty, and I put a poll up on my Twitter recently, which is just KBellaBeautyXO, asking you guys what types of videos you'd like to see, and I listed a few suggestions, and in second place was back to school makeup. So I thought that I would throw this together for you today. I know that school is right around the corner, or for some of you, you may have started already. I'm actually a teacher. I teach elementary school and we started last week. But I know my nephews who live in Michigan don't start until after Labor Day. So some people are back to school, some people are not. But you know, I was thinking, not everybody can wear full glam when they go to school or to work. So I wanted to kind of show you like my super quick and easy routine that I use when I'm getting ready in the morning. My students enter my classroom at 7:35 in the morning. So that means me personally, I like to be there between 7 and 7:15. So in order to do so, I need to leave my house between 6:30 and 6:45. But in the morning, I have to take care of the dogs. I have to get my husband up. I have to pack my lunch and then get myself ready. So I get up between 5 and 5:15. That means I don't have a ton of time to like get glam before I go to work. So I typically go for more like quick, easy, light makeup. And that's what I'm gonna show you guys today. Now, this video will be a little bit longer because I'm talking, but I can typically throw this makeup on in like 10 to 15 minutes. And when I say 10 to 15 minutes, I am not counting my eyebrows. And I'm actually not going to show you how I do my eyebrows in this video because my eyebrows take me like 10 minutes every single day because I have very thin, sparse eyebrows. But if you have nice, like full, bushy eyebrows to begin with, then you don't need to draw them in. You can just take like a tinted brow gel. I know Maybelline has some. I know Benefit has a tinted brow gel, and just run that through your brows and call it a day and you'll be good to go. So I do spend some time putting my brows on, but the rest of my makeup, it's real speedy. So if you are interested in seeing this quick and easy back to school routine, go ahead and keep on watching. I always start with a primer. This is probably a step that you could skip, but you definitely don't want to skip like washing and moisturizing your face, especially if you're going to skip a primer. But I have dry skin, so the primer that I'm going to go in with is by Too Faced. It's the Hangover RX primer. This is actually in my project pan, so I'm trying to use it up, but I do really like this primer. I think that this is maybe like my third container of it, and like when I use it up, I'll definitely get more. But it's just really refreshing on the skin. And I mean, I have such dry skin that like if I can get any extra little bit of moisture, I'm gonna do so. Now, for my quick and easy makeup routine, I do not go in with a foundation. Some days I will if I feel like I'm having like a really super bad face day, but a lot of times if I'm running short on time, I don't have time to do a full-fledged foundation. Now, if you have something like a tinted moisturizer or a BB cream that you could put on with your hands, you could go ahead and do that. I skip it all together, but I go in with concealer. This one is by Urban Decay. It's the Naked Skin. And I'm first going to put this right underneath my eyes because especially when I wake up in the morning, like my under eyes look super tired. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender, spritz it with some Fix Plus. I actually need to get some more. I'm almost out. And blend that out. Then I like to go in right away with my powder, and I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I do not want my under eyes to crease, and I do have fine lines under there, so I try to set it pretty quickly, and I just take the back of my beauty sponge and I try to look up and I just pat underneath the eye. That way it can, you know, help eliminate any creasing before it starts, because concealer does crease under my eyes. No matter what I do, I always get some creasing. Now, if you do have some blemishes or some redness, if you get red around your nose, put some concealer there. If you get red on your chin, put some concealer there. I do have some blemishes. Now, I go in with a thin concealer like the Urban Decay Naked Skin under my eyes, but if I'm going to conceal redness, like if you have any around your nose or your chin or whatnot, or blemishes, I like to use a concealer that's thicker. So this is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Custard. I do not like this under my eyes. I actually hate it under my eyes, but I feel like it's really good at covering up blemishes. Now, you do want to get something close to your skin tone. So actually, when I run out, I probably should get a shade that's like a little bit lighter, because I feel like this is a bit dark for my skin tone. But like when you go underneath your eyes, you don't want something that's your skin tone. You want to brighten it up. You want it to be a little bit lighter. But if you're trying to cover a blemish, you definitely want something that is close to your skin tone. Then I'm going to take my Beauty Blender, which I just tried to put some more Fix Plus on, and I'm just going to pat. I don't want to rub this in, because if you rub it in, then the redness is going to peek through again. I just want to pat it in. And I mean, skin is definitely going to peek through with this look, but if you're like me and I'm getting ready for work in the morning, like I don't need to go to work all glam. I know some people like to. Maybe you have a job where you can wake up early enough to get full glam and go to work, and that's awesome. Like, I know my best friend from home, Kaylin, she tells me how her goal is to get to work at 8 o'clock every day, but she usually ends up there between 9 and 10. And I'm like, that's so nice. Like, I am a teacher. I cannot have a goal to get there. Like, I have to get there. I have little children waiting on me. And then I'm going to go in with my sponge and some powder again. And I want to powder over those areas where I put concealer, because it does give me a little extra coverage, but I don't want my concealer to budge. Like if I touch my face or something like that, I don't want any concealer to move or peek through. And like I said, with this look, your skin's going to peek through. So if you don't like that, this look probably isn't for you. But I mean, you can totally go in with a foundation, even though I'm not, and just keep the rest of the routine the same. This is just how I like to do it if I'm running a little bit late. Then I'm gonna go in with some bronzer, and I am using the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And I like to take, I actually think this is technically called a blush brush. It's like angled and it's pretty fluffy. I think it's a blush brush. I use it as bronzer though, and I dip it into Hoola, and then I just kind of lightly contour the sides of my cheeks like this. And then I am going to take it up on my forehead, because I just want to give myself some color. You know, I want a little bit of color. I don't want to look super pale. I mean, I am super pale, so there's not too much I can do about that, but I want to have a little bit of color. I also take it along my jawline too. You don't have to, personal preference, but I don't have a super strong jawline, so I like to help it out a little bit. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If you're really in a hurry, you could stop there. You don't have to apply blush. I like to put a little bit of blush on my cheeks to give me just a little bit of extra color. This is the Split Pan with Jaclyn Hill and Becca Cosmetics in Prosecco Pop and Amaretto. I'm going to use the blush Amaretto. I like a more like neutral peach blush. And I put that right over my bronzer, but also on the apples of my cheeks. I like to get it to kind of blend in. So I feel like if I go over my bronzer, but then also on the apples of my cheeks, it looks more natural, but I still get some color. Then I'm gonna go in with some highlighters. So I'm going to take my Makeup Geek Cosmetics highlighter in the shade Luster, and I'm just gonna pick a little bit of that up on this tapered highlighter F35 by Sigma, and I just am going to put that right on the high point of my cheek, and I do take it up into my temple a little bit. And I don't go too crazy with highlighter. Like, I'm not gonna spritz it with Fix Plus because I'm not trying to like glow to the high heavens, but I do still like to have a little bit of highlighter. I feel like it gives my face some definition, and then I do like tap a little bit on my nose. I didn't get any more product, but just whatever's left on the brush. Now you could totally stop here and put some mascara on and a lip and be out the door. And sometimes I do that. There actually are a lot of times where I don't put any eyeshadow on. I just go on with some mascara and go, especially if I'm running late. But if you do have a little bit of time, or if you just want a little something something on your lids, maybe you feel like you have some discoloration, you want to cover it up a little bit, you can take a primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Eden Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And I'm gonna put just a little bit on my lids and blend it out with my finger. Now for this eye look, you do not have to use the palette that I'm going to use today. I am going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. But the reason why I chose this is because I'm only dipping into neutral brown shades here. And if you have any palette at home that's not just like a straight color palette, you can probably recreate what I'm about to do with what you already have at home. But I figured there are some people who would like to have a cohesive palette that they could dip into. Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance is a really good palette, or even the Soft Glam by Anastasia. But I also chose the ABH Modern Renaissance because there is a dupe by Wet n Wild. This is called Rosé in the Air, and I did a whole video comparing this one to the Modern Renaissance. I can link that there if you're interested, but this is only like $4.99. So if you're not wanting to spend a lot of money, you can go ahead and pick that one up instead. I'm going to go in first with Tempura, and I just like to set my base. I like to get a shade all over the lid after I've primed, just to make sure everything's nice and smooth. And I just like Tempura for that because I almost feel like it's a satin. I don't know if it's supposed to be a satin or a matte, but I feel like it's a satin. It doesn't look really flat when I set my eyeshadow primer, and I really like that about that shade. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a fluffy blending brush and go into a golden ochre right here, and I'm gonna run that through the crease. And I'm not trying to be precise, I'm just throwing it on there because I don't want my eyes to look really flat. And I feel like if I were to just cover them up with some eyeshadow primer and that Tempura shade, that they look kind of flat. So we're not gonna do too much to the eyes because remember, this is a quick and easy look, but I do want to throw a crease shade in there to give it a little bit of definition. Then I'm gonna take a brush that's not as fluffy, it's a little bit more thin and dense, and I'm actually going to go in with this burnt orange shade, and I'm gonna put that in the crease just a little bit lower than where I put golden ochre, just to emphasize my crease a little bit. Then I'm just gonna take my blending brush, no extra product, and just kind of blend out the edges so that the, burnt orange shade goes nicely, mixes nicely with the golden ochre. And then we're just gonna curl the lashes and throw on some mascara, and that's gonna be about it for the eyes. Now I do like to have a little pop of something on the inner corner, so I'm gonna go in with Vermeer and just take my pinky and press a little bit right on that inner corner, especially since the other shades that I used are matte. That'll give me a little something something, a little extra. And the last thing that we're gonna do to finish up this quick and easy back to school tutorial is put a lip color on. Now, If you're at a job where you can reapply your lipstick whenever you want, that's amazing. Go ahead and go for a regular lipstick. Pick your favorite lipstick. If you're like me, like I can really only reapply my lipstick at lunchtime, so I go for a liquid lip. And what I'm gonna do is line my lips with this Lip Cheat and Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, and I am going to go in with the Dose of Colors and I Love Sarai Nude Chica lipstick, and that is going to finish this look up. And there you have it. That is the finished look. It looks put together, but it's literally so quick and easy. I'm telling you. It took longer today because I was kind of talking to you and walking you through it, but on a day-to-day, like I said, takes me a while with my brows. Takes me about 10 minutes or so, but once those bad boys are on, I can get the rest of my face done in like under 10 minutes. So if you did enjoy this tutorial, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. I do post 2 videos a week on Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I also try to get a bonus video up on either Mondays or Tuesdays. If you are going back to school, I hope you have a great school year. If you are a teacher like me and you're going back to work, I hope you have a great school year. Otherwise, hopefully this is just a quick and easy tutorial that you can use on a lazy day when you don't want to do full glam. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.